What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. These are my Monday night DFS Showdown picks. We have the Ravens going against the Raiders. Should be a very fun game here. It is a 50.5-point game total where the Ravens are 4-point favorites. Looking forward to breaking it down and talking about my favorite plays for tonight. Before we get into it, though, if you guys can leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, that'd be much appreciated. And I say we get into it starting up top with Lamar Jackson, who's going to be in every single one of my lineups tonight. Pretty much a lock for me. Basically, you're getting a running back and a quarterback mixed into one here. He's going to run the ball several times. We'll take a look at it. Last year, 9 rushing attempts in week 19, 16 rushing attempts, 11, 13, 10 rushing attempts. You're going to get, around 10 to 15 rushing attempts, maybe more, 9, 13, 13, 11. So, the rushing yard upside is 100% there. Touchdown upside as well. I really like the matchup for on the Ravens side as well. I don't think the Raiders have the best defense. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson is going to be a lock for me personally, and he's going to be the highest owned player on the slate, and for a very good reason. He has the highest ceiling on the slate with that rushing yard upside, with the touchdown upside. I like Lamar Jackson quite a bit. Definitely captain viable as well. So yeah, Lamar Jackson is somebody I'm going to be very high on. Going down a little bit, Darren Waller is probably going to be my second favorite player on the entire slate, and he's going to be the second highest price. So yeah, Darren Waller is an elite tight end. The matchup is not the best, but I really don't think that matters. He's going to be Derek Carr's #1 target here, and I do think he's going to do very well. You take a look at some of his games of last year. He just has a ton of upside. You see 30.7 against Denver, 33 against the Chargers, 48 DraftKings point. Like that's insane for a tight end against the Jets in week 13 of last year. So you definitely see that he has that ceiling. He's going to get a lot of usage. He's going to get a lot of targets. Another guy that I think is, captain viable. Darren Waller is going to be somebody that I'm going to be very high on. Seems, really high priced for a tight end, but, Darren Waller is basically a tight end and a wide receiver combined. So I think he's going to be a very, very good play tonight. All right, going down a little bit, Derek Carr is interesting. So yeah, I'm not the highest on Derek Carr. I'm not the highest on this matchup in general, but 9,800, it seems like it's a little bit too cheap for a quarterback. He did average 19.2 DraftKings points last year. I think Derek Carr is somebody that I'm going to be looking forward to playing here just because of the price point. He's going to be cheap. He's going to get a lot of usage here. Obviously, he's going to throw the ball a ton in a game that they're projected to be trailing. So I do like Carr here at the price tag at 9,800. I think he's fine. Going down a little bit, Mark Andrews, not all that interested in, to be honest. He had a very lackluster year last year compared to the year prior, where he just didn't do that well. Week 19 against Buffalo, 6.8, 8.1 against Tennessee, 6.7 against Cincinnati, 13.6, 17.6, 12.8, 20.6, 13.1, 5.2, 6.2. Like, he's just been very, very inconsistent as of late, and 11.6 DraftKings points on average of last year. I don't know if I really feel comfortable going up and paying $9K for Mark Andrews. I think he's fine, but just seems a little bit too expensive. I'd honestly rather go up and pay $800 more for Derek Carr, where I know I'm going to get 20 DraftKings points with Mark Andrews, you very well could get a 5 to 10 point game. Yes, he has that 20-point upside, but I feel a lot safer going up and getting a Derek Carr, and I feel a lot better going up and getting a Darren Waller if your salary allows you to do so. So yeah, I think Andrews is fine. I'm a big Andrews guy myself. I just think he really did underperform last year compared to the year prior. Maybe he does bounce back this year, but yeah, 9K does seem like it's a little bit too steep there. I'll quickly talk about the running backs for the Raiders side here. So Josh Jacobs is questionable. If he does not play, that makes Kenyon Drake a phenomenal play. 7,200 makes him a great play. If he does play, I honestly have interest in none of the running backs for the Raiders because, Josh Jacobs, he's going to get, the more carries, he's going to get the more usage, but he's not going to get a lot of pass catches, he's not going to get a lot of receptions. Kenyon Drake is going to be the more of the guy that's going to come in and get the receptions there, 7,200, which is probably too expensive for him as well. So Jacobs, I think he can have a solid game if he does play. Not the best matchup, a game where they're projected to be trailing. Really, I just don't have interest in either Jacobs or Drake, but if Jacobs is to be out, I think that makes Drake an absolute phenomenal play. So I'll definitely have to see. If Jacobs is out, I'm going to be very high on Drake, but if Jacobs does play, I honestly won't have interest in neither of them, just based off the fact that Jacobs is not going to have much pass catching upside, and I think they're going to be splitting carries, so not much interest there. So Marquise Brown is somebody that I do have some serious interest in. So you're getting a nice savings off of Mark Andrews, who I would consider to be, Lamar Jackson's favorite target here. But, Marquise Brown is going to have a lot of upside here. He averaged 12.3 DraftKings points last year, has some very solid games, and actually finished off the year very strong. Take a look at his recent games of last year. 12.7 against Buffalo, 22.8, 21.1, 12.5, 15.8, 13, 14, 18. Just seemed to really end the year very strong and on a very high note. And he's going to have an upside. I considered him last year a boom or bust player, but, he looks like he's starting to get some serious consistency. So, yeah, 7,600 Marquise Brown is somebody that definitely does catch my eye. I think he's way too cheap here. And honestly, I'd probably take some savings, like a big savings going from 9K Mark Andrews to Marquise Brown, who is 7,600, who has actually been more consistent than a Mark Andrews. So, yeah, Marquise Brown is somebody that definitely did stick out to me there. All right, going down a little bit. So, yeah, this is another interesting situation for the Ravens backfield are missing, or they lost a ton of guys at running back. So Tyson Williams is going to be the guy this week, I do believe. Going forward, I'm not so sure, but for this week, I do think Tyson Williams is going to be the guy. So they did recently sign Murray, and I don't know. They just recently signed him a week ago. I don't think they're going to be able to use Murray that much. I think Williams is going to be the guy getting the bulk of the carries here, 6,800. If anything, for me, it's going to be Williams. I don't really have interest in any other guy on the Ravens backfield, but 6,800, it's not terrible. We just don't know. We just don't know how much they're going to be able to use Williams here. Again, they just signed Murray less than a week ago. I would find it hard to see Murray come in here and play a ton of snaps. So if I had to take a guess, I do guess that they will be using Williams the majority of the time. It's just we don't know. So but yeah, I'll be taking some shots on Williams. As far as the other guys, Murray, not too much interest in him, especially at the price tag. Yeah, no way, 6,200 for a guy that very well can go out there and only get a couple snaps. 6,200 is way too much for Murray. So if anything, I'd take a shot on Williams there. Going down, so we have two Raiders wide receivers here. We have Bryan Edwards, and then we have Henry Ruggs. Two guys that I do think are pretty similar. Two guys that have some solid upside. Two guys that are very cheap as well. I think Edwards is probably the safer out of the two, 5,600, but I think that Ruggs probably has the more upside of the two. So the Raiders are projected to be trailing. They are 4-point dogs, which should mean if they are trailing, it's going to be meaning more passing. So I think both these guys, Ruggs and Edwards, are both solid options. I think Ruggs has the more upside of the two, but and he's cheaper. So for me, Ruggs is definitely solid 5K, but I also don't mind going up there and getting Edwards as well. Two guys that I'm definitely going to have in my player pool tonight. Going down a little bit, again, Le'Veon Bell, don't have much interest in him. Maybe gets a couple carries, just really don't know. Ravens defense, so if I'm going to play a defense tonight, which I really don't want to, it would be the Ravens defense, I guess, but probably going to stay away from the defenses tonight. As far as the kickers go, if I was to play a kicker, it probably would be Justin Tucker. They have the higher implied team total. They're going to be scoring more, I believe. Justin Tucker, one of the best kickers, if not the best kicker in the NFL, 4K. So if I was to play a kicker, it'd probably be Justin Tucker here. And I probably will have some Justin Tucker this week, actually, or tonight, actually. Going down a little bit more, getting to some value plays here. You have the Raiders D, which I don't really have too much interest in. So we have Hunter Renfrow, somebody that is just way too cheap. He's going to get a decent amount of targets. Concerning the price point, I mean, 2,800 just seems way too cheap for a guy that's going to get 5, 6, maybe 7 targets in this game. He's not going to have a ton of upside. He's not going to go out there and get 100 yards and a touchdown. But I can see him going out there getting 3, 4, 5 receptions at 2,800. That very well could be enough. There isn't really much down here. And then Devin DuVernay, he is 2,600, the wide receiver 3 for the Ravens. I think he's fine. An average 3.1 DraftKings points last year. He's somebody else that did catch my eye. And then other than that, there's not really many things that do stick out. I think that's about it for me. I mean, you can go down and punt on some of these guys down here, but you're just taking a shot in the dark at that point. So, yeah, that's about it for me. I'm going up. I love Lamar Jackson. He's going to be in every single one of my lineups. I love Darren Waller. He's going to probably be in every single one of my lineups. I think Derek Carr is a very, very intriguing play just due to the price point. I love Marquise Brown and his price point. Going to take a shot on some Tyson Williams. I think he will be the guy for tonight, but again, it's a shot in the dark. We don't know what they're going to do with the backfield yet. I think we'll know more going forward after tonight, but I do think tonight he will be that guy. And then some of these Raiders wide receivers, Edwards and then Ruggs at those price points I do like. And then going down, I think Tucker's fine in terms of value, and then Renfro in terms of value as well. So that's kind of how I'm looking at for tonight. And yeah, good luck, guys. Should be a fun slate. Should be a very fun game in general. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter, DFS_numbers. If you see a play that you like and I did not point out, let me know down in the comments. I'll be glad to hear what you guys have to say there. Stay tuned for the NFL content throughout the week. I want to be getting my core plays out on Wednesday. Might do a first look video. If you guys do want me to do it, I will do so. But yeah, mostly look forward to that core plays video on Wednesday there. And then I'll be getting out my full plays later in the week as well. So yeah, looking forward to week 2. Looking forward to it. And looking forward tonight. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Good luck for this game, and we'll talk to you very soon.